Hey, it's Angela Lin. Today I heard Robert Richmond, who is the culture strategist of Zappos.com, and he's consulted with Google as well, just in terms of how to really grow your employees, grow your talent, and retain them to really create that amazing culture so that you can be the best business. Now, there's a couple things, key strategies that he shared, which I'm gonna just give a brief overview of them. So really, one of the most important things is once you take on the employee, once you interview them, you offer them the position, you have to do sort of, it's still like dating at that time. You know, you just ask them to sign on with you, but you need to want to test it out for both of you to make sure that the relationship's gonna work. And so the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna let them know that we're gonna have a 90-day trial period whereby we're gonna have these set of goals that I want you to meet. So first thing, set some goals. Now second thing is just in terms of making sure that there's rules for these goals. And so it's like a game, any game that you play, whether it's board games, sports, just make sure that you set some rules so that if they don't meet them, if they break them, then they're ultimately out. So let's say if you want your employee to show up at 9 a.m. or 7 a.m. and they show up at 7:05, and for whatever reason, there's no excuse. You know, if they show up late, then they're gone, all right? Because if they can't play by the rules of your game, of your company, then that's not going to work. Then after that, then you have to give feedback throughout that period. So make sure that you ask them, okay, what's that, what questions do you have? You know, what are some of the challenges that you're working on, and how can we help support you? And then here's some of the parts that you need to improve on. And finally, make sure you ask them to opt into your company, to get aligned with your company. So what they do is they'll actually give them the offer and then say, congrats, now here's a month's worth of salary that if you want to quit at any time, go ahead and quit. We just ask that you don't ever apply for Zappos again. And the reason why you do this is because if at any point you find somebody that is not a good culture fit, or they find that it's just not the right fit for them, it's worse if you have somebody who, you know, they take the job but they're not really in love with it, they're not passionate about your company like you are, then that's going to hurt your business. And if they just you know, they pretend on the outside that they're happy working for your company when they're really not, then that's not going to give them the best work, and ultimately that's going to decrease your productivity in terms of your company, and there's going to be lost opportunities as well. So make sure you do that. And then of course, once you hire them on, make sure that you constantly give them feedback. Ask them what those expectations are. What, you know, ask them right away, what do you expect in a good boss? And that way you'll know what they like, how they work. But you know, as it goes on, if they're not performing well, make sure that you are giving them 3 chances in terms of before you just fire them if they're not performing. So the first one is to ask verbally, you know, be like, hey, you know, what seems to be the problem? And if there is a problem, maybe they have a family emergency or something, then see if that can be worked out. All right, so that's the first time. Now the second time, if they still didn't improve after your discussion with them and you asking them to improve in these certain areas, then ask them again and say, you know, hey, we talked about this before, you know, what's going on? And then once you discuss, you know, ask, what can we do to solve this challenge? How can we solve this problem? And make sure that you both agree on what to do. Then document this and send it to them in an email, in a document, and get their confirmation back that they understand that that's what they need to do. Now the third time, if they still do it again, that's when you need to just say, you know what, I don't think we're the right fit. It's time for you to go, and that's that. And unfortunately, there's, you know, just sometimes you do have to make those hard decisions, but employee, a bad hire can cost 6 to 15 times their annual salary, and that is a huge detriment to your business if you think about it. All right, so those are what I've learned in terms of you know, how you've really built up that great culture at Zappos, and how you can implement it for your business. Even if you just have one employee right now, culture starts with everybody. Oh, and actually, one of the most important things, make sure that having the right culture, making sure that everybody in your company upholds that culture, instead of saying, oh, we have a culture department, that's responsible, because then people aren't going to take responsibility. You see, culture, making sure that there's a good feedback loop for everybody, that's the job of everybody in the entire company, and then not just one department. All right? Until next time, here's to helping you to create more income, more influence, and more freedom to do what you love.